Hey guys, I'm Aaron, and this is SketchUp Square One, where we take a look at the basics of SketchUp, one tool at a time. Today's tool, the Offset tool. Okay, so there's a couple ways I can pull up Offset. It is in the main toolbar up here. It's right here. The default toolbar has it. A little round line with an arrow and a red round line around that, indicating that you're offsetting that geometry. It's also in the large tool set. If you go to View, Tool Palettes on Mac, Toolbars on Windows, and choose Large Tool Set, it's right here in the middle on the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. You see that pop up, that tooltip there tells us that the shortcut key, the default shortcut key for this is the F key. So if you want to hit F at any point, it's the same as clicking on that icon. Okay, so what Offset's going to let us do is grab 2D geometry and offset it in plane. It's very simple in that it does just that. It's in one plane at a time. You have to have a closed face in order to use Offset. Very, very straightforward. Like a lot of the other tools that we see in SketchUp, you can pre-select geometry, or you can actively hover over geometry and choose it for offset. So right now I haven't selected anything. Being in offset, if I move over this square I drew on the ground, you can see the whole thing lights up. And when it lights up, the other thing you see is this little red dot is going to be on the edge that is closest to my cursor. That is very important. We'll note that. So right now I'm going to arbitrarily click a point and start to move my mouse. So what that does is from that point I clicked, it's going to pull out an outline of the face I have on here. So right now I'm currently doing a negative offset. If you look down the bottom, I'm actually pulling this offset into the face, whereas if I move my cursor out to the outside, now I'm moving out and making a positive or a larger offset than the original shape. So it is showing me the exact amount there. So like most of the tools, I can actually type in an exact dimension. That exact dimension is from wherever that red dot is, perpendicular to the edge that it's on. So if I want to take the square and make it 12 inches bigger, I could just type in 12 and hit enter. I'm still in offset right now, so if I come back in here, I could click right here, start to pull it in this direction, type in 12, enter, and it'll offset it 12 times. Similar to the command we looked at, push-pull, if I hover over a shape and double-click, it'll do that same offset again. So this was a 12-inch offset. This is another 12-inch offset because I double-clicked on this face. I'm going to go ahead and undo a couple times to get back to just my original square because there's more stuff we got to look at. I mentioned you can pre-select geometry, so I can come in here if I wanted to, pick this square, then hit offset, and now the reason that that's nice is I can choose the point I want to go off of with a little more freedom. So if I want to grab this corner, I could click right here, and now I'm pulling off of that corner, I know for sure. Without pre-selecting, it can be kind of hard to get to an exact spot to pull that dimension from. The other thing I can do with pre-selection is a partial offset. So what I've done up till now is done this full face and offset. What I can do is I can come in here, select one line, hold down the shift key and click on this line. And now if I go to offset, it's going to let me click and offset just these two lines. So I can just do a partial offset where I'm just doing a couple of lines rather than the full face. This is really cool. This is a nice way to put edges on things to, you don't have to pull that full outline if all I want is like on a door, I want to just do trim. So it's going to be 3 sides rather than all 4 sides. I can select the left, right, and top and just offset them rather than offsetting the whole thing and having to do cleanup. So really, really nice option to have. But in order to do that, you do have to pre-select the geometry you want to offset first. So just to stress the point, offset is a 2D function. So if I click on offset and I come over to this cube or box, I guess it's not really a cube, it's a box, I can offset one face at a time. I can't, even with pre-select, I can't come in here, select all of these and hit offset. Watch what happens if I do this. It deselects everything. I can only offset one face at a time. It does let me do some cool stuff though. So like this is not flat on the ground, this is vertical. If I pull it out like this, it's going to create and close a face on the outside of that box. But it's only working on one 2D face at a time. All right, so one more piece I want to talk about right here, and this is overlap. So if I grab this shape right here, I'm going to overlap this a couple different ways. I'm going to hover over this, and I'm going to start pulling it in, and watch what happens right here at the corner. As these two cross over each other, it closes that up. Now watch what happens over here on the right side. As these two lines come near each other, they disappear. And I'm only offsetting the geometry that actually makes sense to offset. I can toggle that. If you look at the modifier key down at the bottom, I'm on Mac, so it says Command. If you're on Windows, it'll say Alt key. If I just tap that once, I'm just going to tap Command. Now it says go ahead and allow overlap. So look what I can do now. I can create some totally different shapes by allowing those pieces to lap over each other. Same with going outwards. So I'm going to hit Command to toggle overlap. Now, as I come out, see how it merges back together? If I turn that off, it'll actually cross over itself. Look at that. See? So Command is a good option to have. This merging is really nice though, because if I do want to have a specific size border, so I want something that's exactly 8 inches, I can type 8, enter, and now I know that this is 8 inches all the way around, even the spots where, well, it's not 8 here because it had to lap over itself. So cool command. It's really nice because you can, not only can you get this kind of offset inward, you can also take it outwards. If I take a composite shape like this, I'm going to go to offset, and I go to offset this, it will take the outermost edge and offset that. So it's not going to offset. If I want to offset this piece right here, I'd have to separately go in and pull this out. Same thing here. So there's a lot of things offset can do. A lot of times people think it's an overly simple command, but it really is pretty powerful, and you can create some unique geometry using that. I like to use that along with push-pull to create things like trim or relief, that sort of thing, because you can actually take something like a wall and offset portions of it and then use push-pull to add some depth. A real nice way to add detail to what would otherwise just be a flat surface. So if you like that, go ahead and click like down below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. We create several videos a week, and you'll be notified of each and every one of them if you subscribe. Most importantly though, please leave us a comment down below. Most, if not all, of our content nowadays is created based on comments from viewers like you. We like making these videos a lot. We like them even more when they're showing something you want to see. Thank you.